Guys, welcome back with me, Potato Roboto. Today I am going to do some little bit different kind of video. I am going to do a comparison between these two characters, which is a Ronin and one from the Marvel Legends series, and the other one is from the HH Figuarts. And as we know, this one is created by Hasbro and this one is Bandai. And before we go through into details, I'll just like to show you even difference from the outside. So the box for Marvel Legends, as you know, it's the standard Marvel Legends box, but when you compare it with the Figuarts version, then you can already see it's quite different. This one is way smaller, so you can imagine that how small the box is, because you can already figure out how the box of Marvel Legends normally would be. And anyway, let's see about the content of the box, what's the difference between both of them. In terms of accessories, the Marvel Legends part, well, I am now counting the BF part, then it comes with 3 accessories, while for the Figuarts it comes with quite several, including the head part and also these swords and also this pair of extra hands. And the major difference would be the Marvel Legends part has these throwing stars and 2 swords. One would be the shorter one than the other one, while the Figuarts comes with only 1 sword, and this one is actually the version with the sheath on it, so you cannot unplug it. And this two is actually just the sword inside the sheath, and this one is basically the difference between these two will be this one has this plug to be put on the back of the torso, while this one doesn't have it. This one doesn't have it, and it's mainly only for being attached on the in the hand, and well, basically just for doing some cool shots. Now, as mentioned before, it also comes with this 2 extra pair, while this one doesn't. So in terms of accessories, I think in terms of quantity, of course, then the Figuarts would be the winner. But in terms of the sword itself, let's see if I compare it over here. So I put it over there. Well, in terms of the length, it's basically the same, but in terms of the width, it has a slightly difference. So I will just move this a little bit over here, the camera, and then show you a little bit. That's going to be not as much clear as I expect, but if you guys look, it would be slightly, this version, the Figuarts version, it's slightly thinner. But whether it is compatible with both figures, can these accessories being put over here and the other way around, I will show you later. And that's for the accessory. Let's talk about the figures. In terms of the height, you can already tell that the Marvel Legends version is taller than the HH Figuarts version, and also the HH Figuarts version is slightly smaller in terms of the width. If you guys look over here, so I will put this over here to the middle, and here, see, basically the Marvel Legends guy is more broad, has a broader shoulder from compared with the HH Figuarts version. And also in terms of the head sculpt or the scale is also bigger in the Marvel Legends version. So if you kind of switch it, it's going to be weird, because if this one goes into here, then his head will be smaller, and if this one going to there, then it's basically a bubble head. Now, this is on the side. I am not yet talking about details, because right now I am talking in terms of the height. See the difference over there, and this is on the back side. This is also on from this side. So let's talk about the details for each figure. Going more detail into the figure, let's start with both of them have a removable hood. So this one is removable, and basically this one, I'll put that aside first, doesn't have any attachment on it, while the Figuarts version is with the attachment. So see over there, there's an attachment, so basically you can just put it back in. So in terms of the fibers, then this one is more firm, it's more stiff, while this one is actually the Marvel Legends version is more versatile or more flexible, but it's less realistic, so to say. Now, in terms of detail itself, the hood from the Marvel Legends version basically has more details than this one in terms of aesthetic and also the sculpture. From the sculpture, you can see more wrinkles happening on the Marvel Legends version, while this one also has some wrinkles, but not as much details as this one. If I put this closer, there, you see this has more embroidered leather, while this one is basically just a plain. There's not much detail on it, and if you see into the gold lines, then this one has more details on it compared to this one, which is just a plain gold. On this side, basically it's also same, more details on the Marvel Legends version, and on the back side, there's also more details. You see those stitches. I'll put it into detail, one moment. There's more details compared to the Figuarts version. Now, going through the torso, let's see about these two. Of course, I think I can already tell again that Marvel Legends has more details compared to the Figuarts version. You see that Marvel Legends has more wrinkles on the leather armor, while the Figuarts, although also has a little bit wrinkles, it's more clean look. So this one is more clean, while this one has more of a wrinkled version. In terms of coloring, also, I think this one, Marvel Legends, still proving to be the winner. You can already tell from details and coloring from this shoulder pad. See those more details over there, and also on the straps over here with gold layering, while the Figuarts version is basically just a plain gold, and also there's no gold layering, gold color over there in the straps. Apart from that, I also see some difference here within the zipper. While this one has more a tight zipper, while this one is more look jagged, so you can see more details over there. And talking about the belt, well, basically the belt also, well, in terms of details, it's basically quite the same. It's just this one lacks coloring. Now, looking into the side of the arm, so, well, there you go. Basically, I don't really see much of a problem, apart from this one also has some wrinkles compared to this one. And for coloring, well, this one has a more brighter gold than this one, so this is more a pale gold. But apart from that, I don't have really much of an issue. But let's see underneath over there. So yeah, there. This one also has some of those extra details on the side of the armor, and this one also. So from in this sense, I think both of them are quite the same. Now on the back side, this one has this sheet already attached. I think you cannot really remove it. You cannot remove it, yep. And while this one is actually removable. And the details of the accessories, well, I think I can show you a little bit of it. Well, I think I'll show you just about that later, so sorry for the confusion. And looking into the back side, I think this one also has more details and compared to this one, and this one has a smaller gold lines over there compared to this one. See? Apart from that, I think, yeah, apart from the wrinkles, I think the rest is basically okay, acceptable. And for the gloves also, this one has a brighter gold. The Marvel Legends version is brighter gold compared to this pale gold version of the Figuarts. Going through down on the lower part, then I have to say this time I think Figuarts has more detail with the straps over there. This one has lack of coloring, while about the wrinkles itself, this one has more, Marvel Legends has more details. See? So Figuarts is always plays the clean version of Ronin, while the Marvel Legends version is like a Ronin who hasn't washed his clothes for more than 2 weeks probably. Now, lower part actually details are also the same. Oh, the knife for the Figuarts version is basically on the back side, really on the back side, while for the Marvel Legends version it sits right on the side. I think in terms of continuity, I think the correct one is this one, because, well, if it's on the back side it's quite difficult, but I have to check again because, well, when I saw the movie I didn't really pay attention to his legs, so correct me if I'm wrong about that. And lower part basically is not much different between these armors for the shoulder, for the knees, I'm sorry, and also for the lower leg part. And for the boots, well, the details is really says that Figuarts has much more detail for the underneath of the boots. So if you really like to put some marking in the sands or in the dirt, then this would be your choice. Okay, now let's talk about the articulations. I think articulations wise, then the Marvel Legends versions is more stiff and has more limited articulation, so you can basically move like that and that, and you can move it to the front side, and you can, well, basically this you can do this style, you can do this style, and you can move it backwards up until like this, and you can like this. So he can basically, this is quite nice, basically you can try to create a reaction that he's trying to do a yoga or trying to get his sword from the sheath on the back. So it's quite nice over there. Now, but they have some articulation. So for the Marvel Agents, the articulations is over there 1, and then here 2, and here 3 and 4. So, well, that's quite a lot for Marvel Legends figure. Now underneath for the leg, well, the leg is, although it is slightly better than compared to the rest of the Marvel Legends, but the leg I think is also quite stiff. So basically this, I'll show you with the focus over here. There, my camera is acting very weird lately. Now, for Ronin, you cannot really move the upper part of the thighs over here to the back side really back, so it's quite limited. And basically what you can do is just this. So the lower part of the knee also you cannot really put it up against his thigh. And, well, for the boots it's basically just a standard articulations over there. Well, you can almost do a split, and basically he can put it right between tights. It can almost meet each other. So usually some Marvel Legends you have this gap over here, but this one you can kind of close the gap. While compared with the Figuarts version for the articulations, I think for articulations Figuart has more flexibility. So he can also do this to the back side, and he can also do this same yoga style. He can also, now I broke it, so I need to fix that. So he's back and better than ever. It's meant to be a plug and play, so it's easily attached back. Now, still speaking about the articulation on the arms, well, basically he can also put both of his hands in front of his lower part of torso, and also upper part. He can even try to punch himself, so it's more articulated than the Marvel Legends version. And speaking about the torso part, articulation is more detailed over there. So we have this 1, 2, and 3 on the waist, so he can move it really more flexible. And of course on the lower part for the leg, he can move a little bit further than the Marvel Legends version, even further like that. He can even put it like this. So I'll show you the comparison again, just to be making sure. So this is as far as I can try. Marvel Legends, you can already see the difference between Marvel Legends and the Figuarts. Figuarts can do almost like this, or Marvel Legends is basically this is the maximum, otherwise I will break it. And I think that's about most of the major articulations and stuff. While another part that's really cool from from Figuarts, I mean, is you can even do this. He can do some dancing like this, and that's completely not possible with the Marvel Legends figure. So it's very stiff. So in terms of articulations, of course, this is the winner. Figuarts has more flexibility, and you can style and move like a ninja. Last but not least, I would like to talk about the accessories and how they are compatible with each other, whether or not they are compatible. Now I have this is the shorter sword from the Marvel Legends version. Why I picked the shorter sword? Because the Figuarts version doesn't have this one particular sword. And well, before going further, I just like to say the details for both of the weapon. Well, actually Figuarts is the winner here. They have more details than this one. Now I will try to put this. So I've been trying to put this into the details. Now I've been trying to put this accessory into the Figuarts version, but it's just doesn't possible because this is too white, and this one, the hole over there, the plug over there, is designed to fit firmly with the Figuarts version itself. So with this one, it just fits right easily there. Well, I tried with this with this version of the Marvel Legends, and it's just very difficult, and to the point that it's not possible. So in terms of the accessory, the Figuarts cannot really use the accessory from the Marvel Legends, but on the other way around, well, because of the wider hole that's Marvel Legends provided over here, that Hasbro provided, then you can basically use the accessory from the Figuarts over there. And when I say over there, it goes right there easily, and basically you don't really see the difference. And if you like to show it there, it doesn't really show a difference, and in terms of the scale, it still makes sense. So it's cool. That means that you can also have this version with the sheet on, and also the version with the with this version with the full sheet. So basically you can recreate his iconic scene where he puts the sword on top of his wrist and he's trying to kill himself. Nope. But that's basically about it. So about these two figures, basically that's the comparison that I've been doing. And to say in summary is that Figuarts has more flexibility while the details goes to the Marvel Legends. So you guys decide, do you guys are the type that prefers more details of the figure, or you guys prefers more articulation of the figures? That's your decision to be made. For me personally, I still pick the Figuarts version because I always pick more articulations, so I can do some cool stuff for doing photo shoots. But yeah, like I said, it all depends on what you guys decide and your preference. So that's my comparison for now, and that's my video for now. Thank you all for watching. If you find this video is interesting, then hit likes. Don't forget also to subscribe to my channel. Last but not least, that's, well, my comparison video, and that's the end of it. So Potato Roboto signing off. Bye bye. Well, that's basically my comparison video for the Marvel Avengers Endgame Ronin. So both of the figures, well, in summary, both of the figures are actually great, has its own pros and cons. While in summary, if you guys goes for the more detail, then go with this Marvel Legends version. And if you guys are more into the articulation and flexibility of the figure, then of course go with the Figuarts all version. And not only that, if you guys prefer more accessories, then go with this one. But well, as I said, or you guys can buy two. Well, of course, there's always that option. So you guys can have detail of this one with the accessories from this one. But everything comes back to your own decision and your preference. So that's my video for now. If you find this video is interesting, then hit likes. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Last but not least, thank you all for watching. That's it for me for now. Potato Roboto signing off.